I want you to consider what happens when the very people who built a revolution turn against it. On December 28, 2025, something shifted in Iran. The Bazaris, the merchant class that bankrolled the 1979 Islamic Revolution, shut their shops in Tehran and walked into the streets. Within 2 weeks, protests spread to 46 cities. The government cut the internet, and at least 538 people were dead. This isn't just another Middle Eastern protest cycle. This is the largest uprising since 1979, and what happens next could reshape everything from oil markets to nuclear negotiations. Here's what triggered this. In late December 2025, Iran's central bank ended a subsidy program that gave certain importers access to cheaper US dollars. Overnight, shopkeepers saw their costs spike. Cooking oil disappeared from shelves. Chicken prices doubled. The Iranian rial hit 145,000 tomans per dollar, a record low. Iran's own statistics center reported inflation at 42.2% in December, but that's the average. Food prices were up 72% year over year. Medicine and health supplies climbed 50%. For ordinary Iranians already struggling through electricity blackouts and gas shortages, this was the breaking point. The protests started in the bazaars but quickly evolved. By early January 2026, demonstrators were chanting, "Neither Gaza nor Lebanon, my life for Iran," a direct shot at the government's foreign policy. The government's response was predictable and brutal. On January 8th, authorities shut down internet and mobile networks across the country. Iran's Attorney General declared protesters enemies of God, a charge that carries the death penalty. Now, the historical context matters here. The Bazaris have been kingmakers in Iran for centuries. Their financial support was crucial to the 1979 revolution that brought the clerics to power. As of mid-January 2026, at least 490 protesters and 48 security personnel have been killed. Many victims were shot at close range with live ammunition or pellet guns. This isn't crowd control. This is something else. For regional rivals like Israel and Saudi Arabia, a weakened Iran looks like an opportunity. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu told his cabinet that Iranians might be taking their fate into their own hands. President Trump went further, posting on Truth Social that if Iran violently kills peaceful protesters, the United States of America will come to their rescue. Between October 2023 and June 2025, Israel systematically dismantled Iran's regional network, destroying Hamas's military capacity in Gaza, degrading Hezbollah in Lebanon. A 12-day conflict in June 2025 hit Iran directly, taking out air defenses, missile sites, and nuclear infrastructure. But here's the problem with instability. It's unpredictable. China imports heavily discounted oil from Iran. Reports indicate Chinese energy companies are worried about losing that supply. Russia signed a 20-year strategic partnership with Iran in early 2025, hoping to create an anti-Western bloc. Multiple international airlines, Flydubai, Turkish Airlines, Pegasus, and AJet have already canceled dozens of flights to Iranian cities. That's a concrete signal that businesses see serious risk. The nuclear question looms large. Iran's program has been set back by Israeli strikes, but the knowledge and infrastructure still exist. A new Iranian government might pursue diplomacy, or it might race toward a weapon to ensure survival. We don't know. On the economic side, oil markets are already jittery. Iran produces roughly 3 million barrels per day, much of it sold under sanctions to China at steep discounts. If production drops or stops entirely, China will need to source that oil elsewhere, pushing up global prices. The uncertainty itself is costly. Shipping insurers are raising rates for Gulf transit, and companies are delaying investment decisions. The UN's fact-finding mission on Iran has called for restraint, warning that the crackdown could constitute crimes against humanity. So here's where we stand. An economic shock triggered nationwide protests. The government responded with lethal force and an information blackout. At least 538 people are dead, and the outcome remains uncertain. This matters far beyond Iran's borders. It affects oil prices, nuclear proliferation risks, regional stability, and the calculations of every major power.